Welcome to my Life Skills channel. According to question analysis, by 2030, the requirement for data skill employees will increase by 25%, and those data skills will be Excel, SQL, etc. But there is another type of data skill which is necessary in your day-to-day life. And today we are going to discuss about that and why it is necessary. Because when you have these data skills in day-to-day life, you will stop judging yourself and others based on lack of knowledge or information and out of indecency or decency. And that's why my today's topic is data skills. Hello, I'm Nandini Das, academician, author and citizen journalist. So what I'll do today, I'll tell you three necessities, three reasons for which this data skill is necessary. Then in the end, I will tell you 5 tips how to practice your data skills. Actually, I have another video on data management that is a little bit different from this topic. I'll give the link in the description, you can watch that. So let's start with number 1 reason why this data skill is necessary. When you have this data skill, it makes you more thoughtful and mature. Number 2 is when you have this data skill, you become decent in your manners, in your behavior, in your reaction, in your action, everything. And number 3, that is the most important thing necessary, is when you have this data skill, you behave accordingly, and that's why you can win the trust and respect of people of worth. Not like those who don't have data skills, you are among them, so you don't understand what is right, what is wrong. Now you know the necessity of this data skills. Let's start with number 1 tip how you can practice this data skill. Number 1 is first clean up data. How will clean up means filter data. For instance, if one of your colleagues tells you about another colleague, so what you have to first think in your mind that the source of the data, what he or she is telling you. Number 2 is whether that person is consistent or inconsistent about that data, whatever he or she is telling. Whether it is duplicate or it is real, you have to think about that. In the end, inside your mind, you have to recollect everything and take the relevant data to form in your mind. You have to do that immediately. And why I'm telling this process is because when you practice that, automatically it will become your second nature. You will not need more time. Now coming to number 2 tip how to practice data skill is, first you have to analyze and explore this data in your mind. You have to analyze it. You got the relevant data, then you have to analyze it. It is based on facts, figures, empathy, everything. You have to analyze that. Number 3 tip is you have to visualize the data. Now you already filtered it, you have the facts set, you got the relevant thing out of it, you just left that irrelevant thing and took the data only of relevant thing, actually based on that situation, reality what is. Then third is you have to imagine that, you have to visualize that what will be the outcome of this. Suppose you are taking some decision, action, reaction, you have to imagine that. What is this? This is based on facts and logic, and everything is something, there is some substance. It is not out of anything here saying or something saying like that. So this is the third stage or third tip to practice your data skill. Now coming to number 4. Number 4 is communication. Again, I have courses, I have videos on both communication, internal and outside communication. I give the link in the description, but here I am talking about communication is you have to communicate with yourself, your internal communication. You have to communicate with yourself. Suppose something comes in your mind, you have to think about that, communicate, talk inside your mind, or if it is not possible for you, you can write down it. When you write something, then you get more clarity. Even these days, suppose you think that something you already did all the 4 before processes, you already did that, then you can take your mobile and record it. When you watch and listen it, then you will understand that whether it is right or wrong. So now you know that your internal communication for applying this data skill. Then number 5 tip is you have to acquire some domain knowledge when you are analyzing. Suppose I am telling these things, I am not telling these things, coming something out of my own experience, out of my own observance. I also walk the talk. What it is not I am telling something, I am doing something, and I am giving you from where I did some research. I am telling the names with the percentage, the data I get somewhere, if I am giving some references. So you have to, when you are processing that data, you have to acquire some domain knowledge, right? Then you can get the actually real data. Now you know that what is data skill in your day-to-day life, and this will why this is the necessity of this, and I told you 5 tips how we can practice that. It will take some time, but how you will practice that, I told you the 4 tips. But how to practice that? You have to practice that mindfully, consciously every day. And when you will practice that few days, it will become your second nature. It will come automatically. You will not spend more time or think about that, but it will be your process, your thought process, and accordingly you will work and behave. I hope this topic of data skill is immensely useful for you, and if you think so, don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. See you soon. Till then, have a good time. Bye bye.